All right, y'all, it's Tom the used car dealer, and let me tell you, Texas just changed some of the bonded title process, and it's made it a lot harder for individuals to get a bonded title in Texas. You're going to want to watch this video, see what the new procedure is, and decide if it's still something you can do. All right, so I did my most recent bonded title, and normally, you fill out the forms, which, by the way, this video is not going to show you how to do a bonded title. This video is going to tell you part of the process. I will link the video on how to do a bonded title up above. But keep in mind, this extra process I'm about to explain might change the order of it some. So anyway, I did my most recent bonded title. I bought a car from a lady. I had already looked it up. I knew that there was a lien that was like 9.5 years old. And so clearly they'd paid it off. Their address was the same. They just couldn't find their title. They're divorced now, blah, blah, blah. So I sent in to get a bonded title, and I will be damned, I got a letter back that was a rejection. And it said the reason it was rejected was that there was a lien less than 10 years old, and that I needed to provide them with either a release of lien or the letter they call a no interest letter, that the lien holder has no interest in the vehicle. So they would not proceed with the bonded title. So I was able to just call the lender. Lenders will generally not give you information. They will not give you a release of lien. But if you say, hey, I've bought this vehicle, it has no title, I'm trying to get a bonded title here in Texas, if here's my VIN number, if you have no interest, can you provide me a no interest letter? So they did look it up. They said they have no interest, and they mailed out the no interest letter to me. So I've put that in the mail back to the state to get my bonded title. In the old days, which if you watch that video that tells you how to do it, it sometimes come back with, hey, there is a recorded lien holder, and it is the responsibility of the person that writes the bond to verify that the lien has been paid. Well, what happens is the bonding companies, some of them are a little fly-by-nighty, kind of like the used car dealers. They don't verify, they just write the bond. And then what happens is that lien holder comes back 3-6 months later with, oh no, we have secured interest in this vehicle, and the bondholder usually has to pay out, or maybe they didn't get caught and nobody wrote back, but it creates a legal headache. So what they've done, they being the state of Texas, they have made it where the onus of providing that document comes before you can even get your bonded title. So what happens now, and I called the DMV regional office in Dallas just to verify, they will send you out the letter, the denial, and it says the vehicle has a lien, we need to release a lien, or we need a no interest letter. So how are you going to find out who the lien holder is? Well, as an individual, that is more difficult than it is for me as a used car dealer. For me as a used car dealer, before I even do a bonded title, I poke into the state's computer, I put in the VIN, it tells me who owns it, it tells me if it's stolen, it tells me who the lien holder is, so I can just plan that process without having to jump through all these hoops. I can get that letter ahead of time before I apply for the bonded title. Now, when you get that letter, you will need to fill out Texas Form VTR 275. I will put a link to it below, and I will again put the link for the bonded title down below as well, so that you can get that. That's going to be in the description. So you will fill out VTR 275, and you will go to your county tax office. Basically, it is a request for the motor vehicle information. And you're going to take the denial from the state and the VTR 275 to your county with $2, and you are going to get that owner's information, and it will have the lien holder's information, so that you can contact the lien holder and verify that they have no interest, and they will mail you a no interest letter. And then you will send that no interest letter with that denial back to your state. Now, the VTR 275 is actually 2 pages. The front page is who you are, what do you want, which you just want the registration information. It's $2. And then the back page is what is your authorized use for this information. I did not stop to think and ask the lady at the state what box should be initialed. So my recommendation is the VTR 275 is a 2-page form, front and back. So you're going to print it, so you're going to put 2 pages. Fill out the first page, sign it, take the second page in blank, and then say, hey, the state didn't tell me which of these to initial. And you're going to initial whichever reason pertains, pay your $2, and you're off to the races. See, the whole problem here is people suck. And people like to make fun of me for saying people suck. But most people that are doing you just have to get a bonded title. Time and time again, I hear the story that they bought the car, somebody told them you just have to file for a lost title. Well, you can't do it if it's not in your name. Oh, it just needs a bonded title. Well, now that's even harder because if there is a recorded lien holder, there's this extra step. And if the lien holder wants that car, now they know where you're at and they're going to come find it, just so you know. So the reason the state put this in process in place, like I said, is because there's a lot of shady bondsmen, just like there's a lot of shady used car dealers. I hate to say third world country people, but people that don't really care about the law or their gray area is even bigger than mine. So this will be fine for legitimate purchases where the person lost their title. And if the car was actually paid for, then you're going to get issued that no interest letter, no problem. Where this becomes much, much more dangerous for the individual is that you cannot get this information until you have a denial. And you have to file the paperwork to get the denial, which means generally you've already bought the car, you've paid the guy, and then you've mailed this form in with your fingers crossed that there's no liens. So what is my suggestion to you on how to not get burned? Okay, here's what I would do. One, you probably don't need to buy cars on nights and weekends because there's not an agency open that will help you. Okay, that's just the reality. You can call the police department, you can ask if it's stolen. They're going to tell you that. You may or may not be able to get them to tell you if there is a lien recorded on the car. You can try. If it's 9 o'clock at night, call a non-emergency number for your local sheriff's department, ask them if the car is stolen, you give them the VIN, and then you may say, hey, by the way, can you tell me, is there a recorded lien on this car, yes or no? They may give you that information. They may also tell you, no, I'm not telling you that. So if it is during the weekday, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, not a holiday, you can call your DMV regional office, save it ahead of time, put it into your phone. You call them up. You say, I'm looking to buy this car. It has no title. I want to give you the VIN. I want to make sure it's not stolen. And I want to make sure there are no recorded liens. So you tell them the VIN number. If there is a recorded lien, understand that you will go and pay for your car. You will mail the information to the DMV. And then you will be able to take your rejection letter to your county tax office to find out who the lien holder is. And then you will contact the lien holder to see if they have interest in the vehicle. If they don't have interest in the vehicle, yes, they will mail you the letter. Now this adds probably 3 weeks to the bonded title car process, just so you know. If they have an interest in this vehicle, you have given them your address when you filled out these forms, and chances are pretty good they're probably going to come looking for it, and they have a legal claim to it. So trying to be a jackass and threaten the tow truck driver or hide the car or any of that crap, this is the risk you take for buying a car with no title. The risk to the individual has just jumped, I would say, 4-fold, okay? 4 times bigger risk now than it was before this policy change. If you call your DMV office and you say, is there a recorded lien less than 10 years old? They say no. It's business as usual. File for your bonded title and you're off to the races. That's where this is different now. If you are an individual, it has gotten a lot more dangerous, a lot more potential that you will be denied the bonded title, because let's face it, people lie. People will say it is their car when it's not. People will say they paid off the loan, which they may have, or they will say they paid off the loan and they didn't. Or they will say they can't find their title, they'll meet up with you tomorrow when they had just gone and gotten a title loan for the car and kept all the cash. So things to be aware of, guys, when you're doing a bonded title in Texas. All right, so that's the new bonded title story. My name is Tom. I'm the used car dealer. I deal with all kind of title problems, bonded titles, salvage titles, rebuilt titles. I buy and sell cars like crazy. I buy a lot of cars that need bonded titles. I buy a lot of cars that have rebuilt titles. I buy junk cars. I do all those kind of things. I'm located just outside of Dallas, Texas. This information is good for Texas residents only. Texas. So you've seen this video, you have seen where the changes occur. Now you can go back if you are looking to do the step-by-step directions on how to do the video. That was linked down below. I'll make it one of the videos that pops up at the end here so that you can see it there, and just understand that the process has changed a little since we made that last video. Guys, thanks for watching. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. I really appreciate the support. Y'all have a good one.